Hello everyone and welcome to Unfiltered, and today's guest I've got someone from the new game, if you want to call it, in Season 1, and he's a fellow community member who's been following the channel and shouted me out, and I've been talking to him and following their season a little bit, but I've asked him more importantly on today's Unfiltered to ask about his experience in Season 1 and obviously give a little bit of introduction of himself. So I'll pass it over to you, Shan, and obviously introduce yourself, bro.
Thank you so much, brother. Hello, guys. My name is Shan. I've been playing this game like for quite a bit time, like been a year playing this game. This is my actually third server, 358. I'm managing my own alliance with one of my friends. The name of the alliance is Outlaws. We've been like in this server like been almost 50 days, and it's going pretty fun.
What made you since you kind of said this is your what was your third service? What made you start a new account? Was it just because you were learning prior, or did something go wrong, or
Yeah, so yeah, to be honest, this is my first time. This game, Call of Dragons, was the like I saw a lot of people playing this game and my friend in the community as well. I never played these such type of games before, but yeah, when I started playing this game from server 105, then I went to server 127, hopping the server, learning more about this game. Um, I I learned a lot about this game in server 127 actually, how to spend on this game, how to, what events you should push on, what not to push, what packs you want to buy. So when I was new in the game, I wasn't knew about anything, nothing. I didn't know how to spend, how to push my troops and all that things. So I did change servers. I get to better alliances, learning more about this game, how to spend, how to work in this game. And when we got to, and then I got to server 200, I worked there with the professional management. They were YouTube content creators as well. I worked with them, learned more about management things, how things work, how diplomatic situation works, how territory plannings, war planning, and all that stuff. Then, unluckily, we did lost the season two war, and we all got kind of split up. And then I was just watching YouTube, and this game ad, these games are everywhere,
yeah?
and just pop out, and like yeah, and I download the Discord again, and I try to contact my friends who were playing with me before, and they were all ready to start all over again in the new server. And the day we all were in a voice chat, and that day server 357 was just launched, and we just made our Discord we hardly managed to gather around 50 people in 2 days
Mhm.
to land on this project. In 2 days we landed on the project. We wasn't ready for anything. I wasn't even ready for starting a new project. I just wanted to us to all friends to get together again and hang out like we used to do before. It wasn't meant to be any project or anything like that. But yeah, we're leading an alliance and trying our best to lead the server as well, trying to meet more, learning from mistakes and trying not to do what we did in the previous servers that made us lost.
No, that's good. No, I understand what you're saying, because it's like learning from past mistakes, right? 'Cause that's the only way you can
Yeah.
reality improve. So like, it's kind of good because it kind of leads into the next question with like, because obviously being in season one, like, how do you feel from obviously you playing in the past game, right? Server 127 and so on. How would you compare the game's progress? Is it the same like progression for yourself, like your personal development of your castle, unlocking those T4 units, getting your heroes? Has it been like the same, or do you feel like with the newer server you've actually felt like the season one you've gotten more out of it compared to the last season one you played?
I think there's a huge difference now from the servers before. I used to play in this server. Uh, it's really huge difference right now. So before the servers, they were really, really long. The season one, when we used to play, it used to stay really long. And in this, I when we first started this season, I saw a lot of Arcstone events uh, getting finished when it hit its criteria right away, which is a really good thing. I don't know if they had it before or not. I might have missed it. But yeah, that's the thing I noticed. And there's new events that give you legendary shards
Oh,
for
that's
which
good.
helps free to play player to focus on at least one of their legendary heroes as well that they like, which is a really good thing, which is helping them to grow stronger. And there are, I think, for my perspective, I want to suggest one more thing as well
Yeah.
to the developers to make more ways for free to play players to come up with, like, rather than just launching legendary new heroes for next season, try to make more epic heroes as well for free to play players as well, because in season 1 when you finished upgrading, I think pretty much even a free to play player can awaken his epic heroes, and they don't have anything else to look forward to it when they are done with their epic heroes awakening and all thing. And legendary heroes, if you want to awaken it, it's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of shards and stuff like that. So trying to making this game more promising for free to play players, they should try to launch new epic heroes, which new these free to play players can focus on. Because after you guys are done with the free to this epic heroes, there are nothing left for free to play players to look up to, because research time, when you get after T4, you started progressing more your lab technology and all that. It takes hell of a time, like 15 days, 20 days, and people run out of patience and people start jumping the servers, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there because it would be good, like even if they, like you said, in a new season they brought out a brand new like epic hero or two, and maybe like you could play some events to unlock them and
Yeah,
get them,
so
and
yeah, it's
it'd be
it's a
nice.
more like, people can look more forward to it. Like free to play players will have more scope coming up with new strategies, new gameplays, and new tactics and all that. If you guys can give them a chance, give them a way to walk on.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So obviously this is going to be a little bit more. I don't know. Obviously, if you thought about it, yeah, you probably must have, because obviously, Home Kingdoms, right? Because Home Kingdoms have been
Mhm.
announced, and I believe at the end of the season, either you're going to go straight into a Home Kingdom, if I remember rightly, or you'll be going into season two. Um, but either way, have you found it easier or like harder to kind of like unify the server, since like now obviously everyone in your server knows like, this server is going to be their home kingdom if they choose to, stay in it, so they know like they do need to work with everyone inside it.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't learn much about the Home Kingdoms uh, thing they just launched. I was like pretty busy with the work. I couldn't watch the video. The only thing I get to learn about this new Home Kingdom season, like you guys can come back whenever you guys want to get a rest from KVK or whatever. Like when the season is already running, season 2 is already, you guys can switch back the Home Kingdom to the KVK Kingdom, which is a good thing if like people wants to take a little bit of rest, or people are away from the game, going on a vacation, spend their time with the family. They can just hop back to the Home Kingdom and wait for their. And when it comes to unifying, like I think it's more easy now to unifying to servers. Like it depends upon the management as well, how they try to, you know, join the, like making other servers join their server. It depends more about the diplomacy stuff.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because even though obviously there's, your server, and technically just hypothetically you was the king, right? You still, in reality, you still have the final say, right, on the approval list, right? You get to say who gets to come in and who doesn't get to come in. So like, I could imagine like the diplomatic talks, like
Yeah, because
merging.
this thing, I experienced this thing in my server 200. We did a really bad diplomatic. I wasn't a diplomatic over there, but yeah, I did experience like diplomatic is the main thing when it comes for going to season two. Rather than putting our demands first, we have to give priority to other people as well who are joining us, leaving their home kingdom or leaving. We have to give them something that makes them, feel more promising to join us rather than just asking them that you're gonna join us, you're gonna work under us, you wanna follow all the rules and stuff. Like it's too harsh. Rather than going too harsh, try to give them something that they can, be loyal to you.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I know what you're saying there. So, kind of like moving on to like the next question. You kind of did touch on it a little bit earlier when you was discussing, obviously, adding in epic heroes, right? Because I was gonna ask, like, what would you kind of like to see though, mainly in season one, right? What could they introduce, even if it was just like another event? What would you like to potentially see that could help the players experience in that first season? Because obviously everyone knows it's a long game, and obviously the first season is quite important for that development. It's going to be technically your free season off, right, before you dive into season two and start fighting all
Yeah,
the
that's
servers. So what would you kind of
I
like to see in that season one?
yeah, I want to talk about this thing mainly that what I want to see. It's not just from the developers, not just from the game developers, it's all for all community, playing community, the Call of Dragons. Uh, I see people leaving servers like on second or third day when the server got launched. Even when we got into 358, there were 4 to 5 projects from which 3 just left the server after 3 to 4 days when they see them not dominating the server.
Mm,
I see a lot of people pushing to T5s right away, like in season one, like after 30 to 40 days in a month, they're T5 already, which I think kills the server. Pushing T5 in just season one, it's like a request for the people who are playing this game, not to
mm,
like giving other people a chance as well to so they can think that you guys can stand up against big alliances as well. If you
yeah.
are already T5, a lot of people on the other alliance loses the hope winning against us, and a lot of projects just move on to the next server and they keep hopping the server unless they find a suitable server for them, which is not which doesn't have too much power imbalance. So the main thing is if you boost up too much power, everyone will want to join you. No one wants to fight you, even
Mm.
if you go to zone 3, you have to ask them to please fight us, please give us some war and all that stuff. But people don't want to fight you because you guys are already so powerful that they're already scared. Even
So
happened in yeah.
I was gonna say, so would you kind of like to see in a best way of putting it, almost kind of like a soft block? You know what I mean? So like, imagine you played season one, and all the way through season one, the maximum troop you could use is only T4, and then maybe you could still, a T5 player could still research the tech, for their T5 if they want to spend. But maybe at the
No,
end of
I
the
mean
season, when the dragon unlocks, there could be a milestone that unlocks the tier 5 unit, because then obviously you would be wanting the tier 5 units to fight against your enemies,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
would that
For
be
that,
something you
yeah,
would like to like introduce something
yeah.
like that?
That could be really useful. Yeah, when all the server is one united under running under one banner, and people can push T5 over them. But if you don't want, like in season one, like I see a lot of server nowadays, a dead server. A lot of people servers are dead. They are don't have much activity hardly. Even the server we are going to, one of the servers is so bad that they only have one main alliance, and all the other alliance there is no other alliance. Hardly have any alliance or any activity in that server.
Yeah.
Why? Because a huge power imbalance. It's so even in my alliance, I have 2 big whales, and I requested them that not to push T5 in season one, and they agreed on this point that they don't want to kill the server if they push T5 right away. No one wants to fight them. Rather, everyone will fled away or They will just be like passive players farming and stuff.
No, that's I like that, man. I like that.
Yeah.
It's good to hear because it would
Mm,
it's sad at the same time because it's like you as a player realistically shouldn't have that burden on you, right? To try and make things that fair, especially as like the T5 players. But I like to hear like you guys are trying your best to make it as fair as possible. I think it's a really good, step for your technically server, your community in that to build a foundation from. But
yeah.
going into basically like the final question, I think is the one that a lot of people obviously have their own opinions on, obviously. But what is your favorite unit in the game? Like, what is your favorite unit so far you've played in the game, and like, why is it your favorite unit in the game?
For me, my personal opinion is to focus on archers and mages for mainly mages for season one because mages are really good range. They have really good ability to melt the tanks and all, and it really helps you guys keep running in the war. Mages are really good. And the second main unit I would like to suggest is archers, which are really good for behemoth raids. If you guys want to do behemoths and all that stuff, archers are really good. Even in our server, we are mainly focusing on archers because we are planning to take the elite necro giant frame in season one. So we,
Okay.
from the day one, we asked everyone multiple times to focus on their archers, and we really have good archers, and we're looking forward to take it down in season one.
Yeah, no, that sounds good, man. I'm glad to hear because I'm
Mhm.
I'm in the firm
Um,
belief of archers. My favorite unit is just purely
mhm.
archers. I love them because of
Yeah,
the
and
single target deeps.
yeah. The reason why I want like I'm like mainly orc mages, they have a buff in their like they buff the religion which is close to you. Like archer legion, they give 20% extra damage, normal damage, which can help your archers get even more stronger in the war and all that.
Yeah,
This
no,
the
it's
mages of
true.
orc legion, yeah. Yeah, so it's a really good buff. Like people, if I think most of the people, they don't read the skills or whatever the it's given everything over there. If they can try reading it, they will try to understand what things to build and what things not to build.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think that is, like you said, kind of true. People, pick the factions mainly because of the heroes and obviously the little kind of like faction buffs mainly, but they haven't probably
Mm-hmm.
looked really deep into each of the individual units, right? Because each unit does have its own kind of buff on what it does and what it can empower, which is really, really important for the murder balls, to be honest, as you said in PvP. So what I'm going to say there, though, it's been a fantastic episode on Unfiltered here. So I was going to pass it on to you, and you got anything else you want to say? Obviously, we know what server you're in, what hopes you have for the future, and just end things there.
Yeah, well, I think that's all I have to say for now. I don't have much to say, but yeah, thanks for giving me a chance to come up and put my views on this game. This game is really good. But people need to understand to make their server more promising, they need to work more hard on committing to people and looking more about what people want rather than they want in their alliance.
Yeah, definitely I agree with that, man. So, from me and Shan here, everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Unfiltered, and it was obviously a refreshing perspective, right? Getting someone who's playing season one currently compared to someone like myself or any of the content creators in the latest season. It is obviously nice and refreshing to get that different point of view on Call of Dragon. So if you've enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys, and peace out.